Am I the idiot for telling my soon-to-be sister-in-law that they're asking too much of their wedding guests? So a quick little backstory. My husband, male 21, and his brother, male 25, have always had a great relationship. His brother moved away when he was younger, and even though they're now 2 hours apart, they still regularly talk and play games online together. My husband is one of 6 kids and they all are still in contact and on good terms. His parents are also still married. About 3 years ago his brother introduced us to his girlfriend at the time. She was originally from a different state but moved here to be with him. Everything was fine until about a year into knowing her when she started getting snotty and entitled. For one thing, she refused to work and expected him to support her and her mother whom she had brought with her when moving here. She began going through people's things, making snide comments, and she even told me that I was privileged and said she would use our daughter's name for her daughter, while I was in labor. She also wore sweatpants to our wedding and fell asleep at the reception. For their wedding we were told we need to purchase medieval costumes, drive the 2 hours to their town, bring food for the reception, play outside games. And just recently she added that we would need to take pictures on our phones for them since they can't afford a photographer. I mentioned to her that this all seemed like a lot to ask, especially considering they had refused to come for any family events prior to this, and she told me if I didn't like it then I didn't have to come. I should add that my husband is in this wedding. She stopped responding to me after I said their attitude was hurtful and started telling my mother-in-law that I was hurting her, again, and making up stories about us kicking them out of our house. This has begun to affect my husband's relationship with his brother now, and I feel bad, but at the same time, all of my in-laws are happy I said something to her and appalled at how snotty she and my brother-in-law have been lately. Am I the idiot for saying something? Edit. I feel like I should add that my current sister-in-law, female 15, has a birthday the day before their wedding. She specifically asked for it not to be on her birthday weekend before they had a date picked because she wanted all the family here for her birthday. Now they are saying we need to come up there the day before, on her birthday, to help prepare their food even though they know it's her birthday. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Here's what you do. If you're petty like me, first, rent the most beautiful, elaborate, cream-colored medieval dress so that you look better than her by far. If you don't have a costume rental place, learn to sew today and make it real grand. Next, make 1 dozen deviled eggs. Nothing more. Last, hire 2 minions who will follow you around, carrying your very long dress train, and have them respond to everything you say with, "Yes, my queen." Then take pictures of her face and inbox me BC I need a follow-up. Asterisk edited for my piss-poor autocorrect errors. Comment 2. Not the idiot. You can't pick your in-laws. Your future sister-in-law is an unpleasant person who wants a medieval potluck wedding with cornhole and croquet. Find a cheap cape online, make some potato salad and make the best of it. It's one day, it's not worth causing a rift between your husband and his brother. Now for the update. The wedding was today. We arrived at the ceremony about 15 minutes before it was supposed to start, as we had been told there was no rehearsal and to just be there when the other guests would get there. We arrived and my husband was greeted by his brother with, "Where have you been? We've been going over everything and you weren't here." Again, we had been told there was no rehearsal, but apparently his brother had decided the night before that they would be going over everything an hour before the ceremony, and we were not informed. Anyway, my husband goes back to be with the wedding party and we sit down. They did end up getting a photographer, but she was very pushy and kept snapping in people's faces to get their attention. The ceremony was fine. Typical wedding ceremony, aside from the Renaissance outfits. But then we went to the reception. The reception was outdoors in a barn. It had been raining all day, so there were a lot of bugs. When we got there, no decorations had been set out and there was only 1 table for people to eat at. This was a group of 40 to 45. 2 hours after we got there, they started bringing the food in. Apparently they had assigned one of the bride's older relatives to make all the food, and somewhere along the hustling and bustling of making food for all those people, the poor man had a heart attack. He was rushed to the hospital, and he is okay, but they had absolutely no backup plan. They ended up cooking all the food themselves when they got to the reception. They cut the cake without announcing it, so the photographer had to hastily run over there to get pictures, and after the cake cutting, the bride's entire family disappeared and we did not see them for the remainder of the time we were there. Her mother did come into the barn every half an hour or so to smoke a cigarette, but that was it. There was no dancing, no bouquet toss, because they carried lanterns instead, and the guests that were left kind of just stood around. Needless to say, it was chaos at its finest. Thank you to everyone who commented on the original post. I'm sure we will have many similar family gatherings in the future. Edit. So it turns out the man who had the heart attack is the boyfriend of the bride's mother, and he faked the entire thing. Apparently he's known for that. And the mother of the bride lied about taking him to the hospital so he wouldn't have to make the food. Edit. As if it wasn't bad enough, we found out that the mother of the bride didn't take any pictures at the wedding, at all. And she just waited until brother-in-law's parents put their pictures on Facebook so she could post them as her own. She also blew up at brother-in-law at the reception because no one was talking to her even though she kept leaving to go smoke in her cabin. They're a very odd family. Comment 1. What an insane and horrible event. Poor planning, poor execution, and just awful people. I am so sorry for your family to be stuck with her as an in-law. Comment 2. Not the idiot. You will have years of pleasure talking to your friends about the absurdity of the event and others. Hopefully, the brothers will grow closer together over time. He will need your husband's support. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for leaving my friend at a party because she insulted me? Last weekend me, male 21, and my best woman friend, female 21, Tina, went to a party. Me and Tina have been friends since our freshman year, and we've become best friends. At the party, Tina got pretty hammered, not completely trashed, but she was pretty drunk. We were sitting down talking to a couple of our mutual friends, and somehow we got onto the topic of dating. One of our friends asks us why me and Tina never got together since we're such good friends. Without missing a beat, Tina says, and I quote, "Ugh. Gross, God freaking no." That took me and everyone a little by surprise. It wasn't even a, "No, he's like my brother," kind of way. This was a pure disgust, like I was repulsive. I said, "Well, frick you too," kind of in a joking way, but actually serious. I think she realized what she said and tried to walk it back. "He's just like my friend. I don't even want to think about it." No one really bought it, but I guess we all laughed it off. I was pretty insulted, so I just decided to leave. The only problem was that I drove us to the party, and I was Tina's ride back. An hour later, Tina calls me and says thanks for leaving her. I say thanks for calling me ugly. She said that I was in a hole for leaving her at the party and having to find another way home. She told me to get over myself, and that was just kidding. I just hung up. Not gonna lie, I've been hitting the gym hard since then, and Tina hasn't really talked to me since, and I don't really want to anyway. I don't have feelings for Tina, but her words were like a slap in the face. Especially since I don't have much success in the dating department. I've been thinking that maybe I just got in my feelings too much, and maybe I overreacted. So did I overreact to Reddit? Am I the a-hole for leaving Tina at the party? Edit. Since there's some confusion here, I don't want to date Tina, and I'm not some nice guy dude who only hangs out around women to date them. I was upset with what she said and how she said it. Edit 2. Taking some advice here. I reached out to Tina this morning so we can talk and clear the air. She said that we can talk after classes finish this afternoon. I'll let you know how that goes. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. I really don't get all the "you're the idiot" comments here. Taking someone to a party does not obligate you to them no matter what they say or do. And it sounds like she had plenty of mutual friends, and Uber/Lyft are available, to get back. Comment 2. Not the idiot. I'm a woman. I wouldn't want to be around someone who said that about me in that tone either. People are missing that OP doesn't want to date Tina. He's upset about how Tina said it, and how needlessly vehement she was about it. Also, it's not his responsibility to babysit Tina just because she's a woman and made the adult choice to get drunk. Women aren't infants and capable of making decisions, and just because she made the decision to drink as a woman doesn't obligate OP to stick around all night after she insulted him. Now for the update. Hello everyone, I've received a few requests asking for an update on my situation, and I did promise one, so here I am. To begin with, I feel bad for leaving her at the party. I shouldn't have done that. Like everyone here said, I should have just offered her a ride, found her another ride, or told her I was leaving. I was so embarrassed and angry that I just didn't want to be around her anymore, so I left quietly. Thanks to a kind Redditor, I believe I may have some self-esteem and anger issues I need to work out, so I have scheduled a meeting with my campus counselor, and maybe get some professional therapy after that. Now on Friday afternoon I texted my friend Tina to talk so we can finally clear the air. She agreed and we met at her dorm. I apologized for leaving her at the party and not telling her I was leaving. She said that she is still pretty mad about leaving her in an unsafe situation when she was drunk. I told her I was upset at what I felt was her perceived revulsion. She apologized and said that she shouldn't have made me feel so unattractive. She said that because I'm like her brother, she would never find me attractive, but that doesn't mean other girls don't. I told her that I don't care if she did find me attractive. I was just upset with the tone. She said she understood. After I left, one of our friends told her that she kinda went overboard with it, and she really regretted how she said it. She apologized again, and I apologized again for leaving her. We admitted that we're not super happy with each other at the moment, and are going to take some time apart to sort out our feelings, not romantic, toward each other. If we run into each other, we're not gonna be awkward, and we might even text. But no hanging out like we were before. And that's it. Not a particularly happy update, but I guess it's better than nothing, right? Thanks to all the Redditors who helped me through this little mini saga. I guess I'll see you all in therapy. Comment 1. I'm not sure why people were trying to nice guy you in the original. She was rude. Had this been your best guy friend who said it, it'd still be rude. Had she meant it was because you were a brother to her, she would have said it, drunk or not. Her apology didn't seem all that sincere to me, and it sounds like you two aren't actually best friends. But it sounds like you have a great friend group around you that's willing to support and defend you. I'm glad you are taking time for yourself and putting you first and getting and feeling better. Comment 2. It's happy in the sense that both of you realized that you had something to apologize for, and both of you did apologize. It takes a big person to admit they did something wrong, and both of you should be given credit for that. I hope you can maintain your friendship somehow. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for refusing to be a bridesmaid months before the wedding? I, female 18, was asked back in September by my cousin's fiancé to be a bridesmaid to their wedding, which is in March. I agreed, but let her know in advance that I had lost my job back in August due to college schedules, and that I hadn't been able to find a new one for said reason. She assured me the prices were going to be very comfortable for me and that she would have it into consideration, but to please grant her the honor. She also showed me the infinity dresses she wanted from Amazon, $35. I agreed, but then last week she came up with a group chat, where she stated the prices, which are these: bridesmaids cost, infinity dress, $100 pink Vans, $80 bachelorette Airbnb, $100 makeup, $130 hair, $60 matching jewelry, $30. Apparently she found the same dresses at a local boutique, at a slightly higher price. When I asked about the prices, she told me to just ask someone to lend me the money. We have until Tuesday, January 10th to pay, and that it wasn't a big deal. I honestly don't have the money or anyone whatsoever to lend me that amount, so I just told her I couldn't afford it. I know it's a little late to find another bridesmaid, but I just can't risk spending money on a wedding that isn't mine, especially when I have rent and other bills to pay. I also think I've been uninvited, so am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. It is a despicable idea to want anyone to go into debt just to look pretty in wedding pictures. As for being uninvited, well, count yourself lucky. You then don't have to spend money on a gift either. This person is clearly not a friend. Comment 2. Not the idiot, she's being ridiculous. She had the nerve to ask you to go into debt to be her bridesmaid? After being told clearly that you were on a budget. Hell no. Absolutely not. Don't feel even a little bit guilty about telling Bridezilla this isn't going to work. Now for the update. Thank you for all the comments and POVs in the last post. I want to clarify that although the bride and I are not family, I've always been closer with her than with my cousin. I wanted to give an update on how everything turned out since we had, until today, to pay the $500. Yesterday she sent a message to the wedding group chat saying that she would be changing bridesmaid and calling off the bachelorette party since only 1 out of 16 people assisting the bachelorette party, and 1 out of 4 bridesmaids had paid. 2, and myself bailed for the pricing. She asked me again, saying that the dresses were actually $35, but she was running out of funds for the bachelorette and decided that was the best way to pay for it. The plans changed. We paid $35 personally to the seller, and accessories are optional and our choice. I advised her to give out refunds to the people who paid because it isn't right to use other people's money like that. And she did. At this point I am only going as a bridesmaid for support, and even though I hate to say it, I felt bad that she ended up by herself. So I agreed. Her guests are starting to cancel, since she also tried to charge them in advance for food and drinks. I'm currently trying to help her do things right and accept that she needs to accommodate according to her budget. And yes, we're on good terms, I think, trying to be good friends. Again, thank you all. Comment 1. Wait, she tried to charge guests? To attend her wedding? Then the original poster responded with, she asked them to pay for the plate. It was like $15 per plate, I think. Comment 2. She really doesn't deserve your help on this. She tried to manipulate and lie flat out to get her wedding paid for. By not only her bridal party but guests as well. If having a wedding is this much of a struggle where you need to lie, it's not okay. She should have cancelled the wedding when she realized it was more than she could afford. There are some people that will never get past how she behaved. Then the original poster responded with, she can afford a wedding, just not the one she was planning. She was going over $30,000 in budget when she can only spend about $15K. So not only was she gonna take money from other people, but she was also going to take a huge loan. When she doesn't even have a car or a house for herself. Which should have been a priority. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.